Hey, girl.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. Do we want to just tell everybody what we did yesterday?
Yeah, go ahead.
We filmed an entire podcast episode. It was amazing. It was incredible. It was the best that it could ever be. And now
so much fun.
we're gonna tell you what happened.
It didn't record.
It didn't happen.
It was a total newbie mistake on my part, to be honest.
It's okay.
What did I do? I forgot to format the memory card. Like, that's something that I would forget to do
Yeah.
as a photographer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's, you go press play on your camera so that you can see visually the images that are on there. And like, the little podcast recorder doesn't have that. Like, I mean, I'm sure it does, right? But it doesn't look the same.
Right.
Like, I don't see images.
Yeah.
So I just forgot to format it. So we literally recorded for probably an hour.
Yeah.
And I got 5 minutes of.
We literally got the hey girl part. And that was
basically.
Yeah.
But it's fine. We're going to get back into the groove.
Yep.
So we're not going to probably repeat much of what we said yesterday in terms of like the funny stuff. So fingers crossed the funny stuff will happen again.
Yeah.
Guys, it was so fun.
It was. They can dream about it.
They can dream about it. You're just going to dream about the episode where Ashley talked about Ashley's like 5-minute posing system, basically.
Yeah, for wedding parties.
Yeah.
Because wedding parties cannot handle anything over that most of the time. So we're going to talk about ways that you can expedite your wedding party time, your shooting time, and also make yourself seem assertive without being bitchy.
Yes.
Yep.
Without being bitchy.
Yep.
So let's talk about why it's so weird re-recording an episode.
I know. It's like, what are we going to say that we didn't say? What are we going to say that we did say?
And then when you like finish a sentence and you're like, did I already say that?
Yes.
But you might have, but it's deleted. But
right.
You're just not sure if you've said it already. So maybe you don't say it. So then it just never gets said. It's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We got to smile through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are the reasons, Ashley, that somebody wants and needs to know like something like a 5-minute posing system for a wedding party in particular?
Yeah. Okay. So my theory is that 99% of bride and grooms out there don't really give a darn about full wedding party photos.
I agree.
I think that the priority and the value is found in bridesmaids photos, groomsmen photos, bride and groom photos, family photos, etc. Wedding party is kind of just a fun little addition.
I had this expectation because I put this expectation on myself, and I think the industry's put it on us, that we have to deliver hundreds.
Ew.
I don't really mean hundreds, right? But like we have to deliver like 40 wedding party photos. And so then you spend 30 minutes photographing wedding party. But in reality, it's not the most important thing in the world to them.
Oh, yeah. And
their friends might not even be friends.
That's a good point.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, just in the present time, they don't want to be there. Specifically.
No, yeah.
Usually weather is like not cooperative and people aren't cooperative. It's just like not everybody wants to be shooting photos all day and moving around locations and just making it overcomplicated.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. You want to keep this like section of the day as simple as possible. Not saying it's not important, but realistically, a couple probably wants
something else more.
Okay, what's the worst thing you've heard? Like when a creative team works wedding party.
Oh.
I'm like, how do I phrase
this?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's what I don't hear that pisses me off more. Ticks me off. I shouldn't use the word piss. My mom gets so mad at me.
Does she really?
Yeah, she's like, that's a nasty word. It could be worse. But
really, it could be worse.
Yeah.
However.
Yeah. So whenever like a photographer is really like stagnant during posing with wedding party, I don't like that. I don't like when they start like looking down at their camera settings for a long time, or
while all these people are staring at them.
Yes. Or they're like a photographer I've seen. This one really bothers me is like whenever they start just like communicating with the videographers and like kind of talking to them and like having these conversations whenever like the wedding party is waiting.
Like an excessive conversation.
Yeah. Like, or like, what do you think about this? Or where should we go? And it's like, you should know. Yeah. Not
That
fun.
should be figured out by that point.
Yeah. Yeah. And, sometimes you'll get the whole wedding party set up and the lighting will just not be it. There's like one guy that's getting like blown out.
I was just thinking that, like where you do have to adjust.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a quick fix. We have some ways that we like to move the wedding party where we don't totally physically move all 30 of them to a different location. We just simply, for the people watching this on YouTube, if the line is here, groomsmen, bridesmaids, bride and groom, here we'll just be like, okay, now we're gonna propel this way and just
pretend you're a plane propeller.
Yes. Yeah. It's easy. It's quick. But back to your question about like what they do that isn't the best.
Yeah. Well, it bothers you whenever people are like pausing for a long period of time.
I do hate pauses.
Like in between poses.
Yeah.
When the thing is, you guys, and here's where we like run into, what did we say yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, did I say this already? I don't think I did.
It's okay.
When you have this massive amount of humans and like 40 eyeballs staring at you, waiting for what to say, you have their attention for the smallest period of time.
Absolutely.
You have their attention microseconds. And in microseconds, you lose it. We're in TikTok generation, people.
Yeah, our brains are mushy.
They're mashed potatoes. You've got to keep them entertained.
Yes, you do.
You've got to talk fast. And maybe you're not the entertaining type. Maybe you are more calm and introverted and quieter spoken. Maybe you won't deliver this 5-minute posing system the way that Ashley photographs.
Because it's really jazzy. We are so excited.
We are so excited. And you are like, that's the persona that comes out of you. Like, and you are that person too, right? But you're not that all the time.
No. Those people give it to me.
Yeah.
They give me the energy and I just shoot right back.
Yes. And so maybe you're not entertaining in the way that Ashley's entertaining, but you can still talk quickly and talk with like confidence and quickness again, but assertiveness.
Quick is our biggest tip.
Yeah.
From yesterday. Like just talk faster.
Yes.
Like you're not on a podcast. You don't need to enunciate. You just need to scream out the orders and get them done. It's true.
Scream it.
Like I'm surprised anybody hangs on to what I say because I'm like, you put your 4 fingers in, your thumbs out, you straighten up your shoulders, you're going to put your bouquet at your belly button. Like I am talking so fast. The auction. What is that person called? An auctioneer?
Yeah. But I feel like what makes it so intriguing as a wedding party member, and it's like so fun, is almost like it's a game. Like,
yes,
catch what she's throwing, okay? And
yes,
I feel like a number one tip to derail is make them on your team. Like, and by your team, that's the bride and groom's team, or bride and bride, or whoever, partners getting married, right? Everybody can get married. That's how we feel.
Yeah.
Not just bride and groom.
That's true.
Everybody can get married. Okay. But hypothetically, we're in a bride and groom relationship here. And we want the entire friend group to be on their team. They love them or they're afraid of them. And so you want to use this to your advantage, and you're going to prep them. And you're going to say, hey guys, this is what we're doing, and we're going to do it so fast, okay? Okay. It's hot outside. We're going to do it so fast.
Yep.
We are going to get you done in 5 minutes. And sometimes, mine takes 7. It takes me longer than Ashley. Ashley does it in 4.5 minutes. It takes me probably 7. But again, auctioneer versus.
Yeah. I got the formula
I'm more
down.
Calm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I tell them 5 minutes still. And even if it goes over, we have a little laugh about it. It's funny.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
you're
guys,
fired.
I need you to pack up your bags. I need you for 5 minutes. When we're done, we're going to come right back inside and you guys can have a beer and it's going to be a blast, okay? Just 5 minutes, all of your attention. And then it was like, okay, cool. You reminded me. Beer. Everybody loves beer on wedding day.
Yes, yeah. And wedding parties are constantly thinking, oh my gosh, this was awful at my last wedding.
Yeah, this was so boring. I had to go to 4 different places.
Yeah.
To take the same pictures over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm,
Don't make me jump.
Yeah.
Like these are the
Lord, run from a dinosaur.
Run from a dinosaur. Hello, 2014. Where are you?
Yes.
No, for real. Gosh. So you want to prep them. You want to make sure they're on your team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then talk fast.
Yes.
And have the posing down. You can even prep them with the posing. Like, say the weather's bad.
Yep.
And all the girlies are dreading going out in that wind.
Yeah, they're tense shoulders.
Yeah, they're
freezing.
cold. It's Antarctica out there to them. No, you're going to tell them, girlies, it's Cabo.
Yeah.
We are stepping into Cabo.
And again, since they know it's only going to be 5 minutes, they're prepared to just hold on for 5 more minutes. You know, like that's what gets them to just relax because they're like, yeah, she's not kidding. This is not going to take long.
This is not going to take long. She's not going to make me suffer.
No.
And they also look at you like when you tell the girlies, like, girls, I promise it's going to be quick. Like understanding like, hey, it's going to be a little cold. And if it's windy, then giving them a little like, hey, FYI, when we go out there, it's a little windy. If that wind blows, I just want all of you to like look at each other and laugh, and you can keep the wind out of your face with your hand. And then when that gust stops, hello, can you tell we live in Kansas where it gusts 50 miles an hour occasionally? But when that gust stops, then I want you guys to look at me, and I'm going to tell you to smile.
Yes.
But when that wind blows,
just look at each other.
Like make those things work for you.
Yes.
So when you prep them with it, they're like, ooh, okay, she's thinking about me. She likes me. She cares.
Yes.
And you're like, yes. And then when you say 5 minutes, I like, girlies, it's freezing. I know. We're going to be so quick. They look at you and they're like, we got this. And I'm like, yeah, you do.
Yes. It's all about like being able to use your peripheral vision to its like highest capability. Like look at everybody, pay attention to everybody. Like you're doing this fast, but the way it's not going to feel rushed is if you're pointing out specific people during that time. Like, hey, your fingers aren't all in your pocket. Ooh, you need to bring your bouquet down just a little bit. You can say these things in between your little posing. That'll make people also that'll build some trust.
They feel like you care.
Yeah.
On that note of like pointing, they say pointing is rude, right? Like, you learned that as a kid, and I feel like it's just the most effective in this way. And just don't touch them. Like, I would rather be pointed at like, hey, and also like not just like you, although that can happen, right? But it can also be funny. It's all in your deliverability.
Yes.
Deliverable.
You always add in those funalities. You know, you're always like, what is that word? Yeah.
But anyways, so like when you're pointing, you're telling somebody, and you may not know their name, but it's quicker and it's more efficient. And if it's like, hey, can you bring your bouquet down? When they do it, you're like, you point again. You're like, yes.
Or let's do this instead. Or,
oh yeah, let's do this.
Somebody did tell me the other day, she's like, I love the way that you tell me what to do. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that.
You do say like let's.
That. Yeah.
Like, hey, let's. And that's like kind of a collective thing. Like, hey guys, let's bring those bouquets down.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see your dresses.
Yeah.
Whatever. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. It sounds better than you.
Yeah.
Like you do this.
Oh, you can also like take the other route that Ashley does, because she can be really funny in these moments and point to people and call them out when they're like being extra ornery.
Yes.
Because you want them to pay attention, right? So it's almost like your way of like whipping them into shape.
Yes. But especially like, men.
Yeah.
Well, actually only men. We do not say these things to women.
Ashley will, and at this point you've built like a little bit of a rapport with them, and it's you look at the dude, like, okay, the one example where you call them out specifically and you're like trying to tell
them to straighten
Beavis,
up
like, hey Beavis, don't put your hands in the guy's pockets in front of you.
Right.
And he just thinks it's so funny. And like you laugh at him to like make him feel, but then he like won't stop, right?
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
The guy that won't stop.
Yeah.
He keeps grabbing butts and putting his hands in the pockets and all the things. And then you point to him and you're like, hey, Miles Teller.
Yep.
This is real.
Yeah.
This is like
a compliment.
A compliment.
All the groomsmen were like, oh, why'd you tell him that?
Oh, he looked identical to Miles Teller.
Yeah. Top Gun Miles Teller.
Not quite Miles, but like literally he looked like him.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
It was weird.
Like, but not in a way that I was also going to be like, oh my God, it's Miles Teller. It was like, whoa, that guy looks oddly like Miles Teller.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? You're bringing this up and that one's like a compliment.
Like, that one is a nice compliment. Right. That was nice.
That was nice.
But it was still funny.
Yes. But usually I ask the groom, like, what's the temperature of your groomsmen? Like, what's the party temperature?
Yes.
And they'll tell me like, yeah, there's this one though that is he's borderline ridiculous. Like, he's going to probably say some weird.
He might cause some problems.
Yeah, he might cause some problems.
But he'll be fine. He just.
Yeah. You just have to like set him straight. Like, they'll tell me like, you can set this dude straight. And I'm like, perfect. I've got permission. And that was like that one guy that I was like, you're Jersey. Like the Jersey guy. I was like, hey, Jersey. And everybody was shocked that I knew he was from Jersey. Remember? And
it just came to me which wedding you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Jersey.
And like he needed it bad. But then after that, he was like, okay, this chick means business.
Well, and then everybody else also pays attention because they're like, oh God, what nickname am I gonna get?
Yeah.
But then once you give them the nickname, it just continuously gets used.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And
It's
the groomsmen are like
funny.
loving me.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I get on the good sides of everybody. It's fun.
And then you kind of like, nudge elbows with the guy that you're like
kidding around with.
And it's like, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Like, thanks for being the butt of my joke.
Yeah, exactly. So all of that like helps build rapport and get people on your side.
Yeah.
And gets you
personable.
on like a team with them.
Yeah.
So you want to work together collectively. You want to prep them.
Mm-hmm. You want to get to know them.
All in that lead up.
Yes.
To actually
wedding party
giving the poses.
Yeah, because wedding party is usually at the end of the day. Like it's kind of towards the end. It's near reception.
Well, that's a really good point. I really love wedding party being at the end.
Yes, me too.
The last thing that happens.
Yes, me too. It's the hurrah at the end.
Yeah. I even like it if everybody does all of their bridesmaids, groomsmen, and everything beforehand with the first look. Mm-hmm. I still like to tag the wedding party on at the end.
Yes.
After the ceremony.
Yes.
Like you guys all walked out of the ceremony at the same time. Families waiting. Let's do 5 minutes of wedding party real fast, get that done. And we're literally actually celebrating. One of the biggest things to keep in mind is that I feel like this is just the biggest thing to keep in mind is that you just have to know that you have to be in control of the situation. And that is not only going to make them respect you and trust you, but it's also just going to make your delivery that much smoother, even if you are flubbing up.
Yeah, because you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah. So memorize the flow that you're going to choose, and we will tell you ours exactly and exactly how Ashley delivers it.
Yeah, what lens I use, how I use that lens, where I go, what my second shooter does. And this time, we're going to go through it all.
Yeah. So everything that we've talked about prior is mainly prepping people and like getting kind of in the mindset and some real life examples of what we do to like get people where they've got to go, right? And like get them on your team. Yep.
Yeah.
So actually when it comes to shooting the wedding party and it takes 4 minutes and
30 seconds.
4 minutes.
I've done it in 4:15.
Yeah. It doesn't take very long. It doesn't have to take very long. And you can play around with it, right? Mm-hmm. But the very first thing to think about is the lens that you use.
Yep.
So maybe somebody might love the 50. So they use the 50 because like, oh my gosh, creamy 1.2.
Ooh, 1.2.
Oh, that's like a real fancy one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Our 50 is 1.8, but
yeah, we're not that cool.
No, but we don't use the 50.
No, we don't
very often on wedding day. So what do you use?
I like to use
why?
Okay. I like to use the 24-70, and I'll tell you why. First of all, 2.8 aperture. That is a safety net for me. Me and Ashley have been notorious for dropping our aperture too low. And you know what?
Forgetting about it.
Oopsie. You got other things to think about. You got to make sure no hands are in weird pockets and, bouquets are out of place. But the 2.8, 24-70, it's just, it helps because then you're not going to flub up and go below 2.8.
Yeah.
For wedding parties, honestly, it's safer to even go to 3.5.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Say. I mean, just it doesn't need to be creamy. The creamy's got to be, you can do all the girlies creamy and vertical.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But like wedding party, just shoot shot.
Yeah. And you're trying to get this done quickly. And the 24-70 with the zoom, you're not going to have to walk around as much.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to be running around crazy. And that also makes people kind of like, whoa, like you're just in one little spot and you're zooming in and zooming out.
Yeah.
That's great.
And just
less chaotic.
So that's another thing that you do through this entire pose is like you don't stop talking.
Never.
Ever. Because you're holding their attention like an auctioneer.
Yes.
Like you're like, what's she going to say next? I got to be ready. Mm-hmm. Right? So you're completely holding these attention of these grown humans.
Yep.
So you use the 24-70.
I do.
It gives you all the variety.
Yeah.
Everything you want.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm not using the 24-70, I may use the 35, but that's for like smaller wedding parties. Like we're talking 4 on each side.
Yeah.
Possibly.
What do you have your second shoot?
Yeah. I really like the 70-200 because it's vastly different. They can focus in on the bride and groom's reactions. They can focus on just other people's reactions. And that's it for that. And then also maybe the 35 for them because it's so crisp. I don't like the second shooter to be shooting a whole lot of wedding party though. You've got all the eyes on me looking at me and smiling. Why would you need that from a 45-degree angle?
No, definitely not.
No. So they're also checking. I have the second shooter check for weird things that are happening.
Hands in pockets, thumbs out, buttons, buttons
bunny
correctly.
ears.
Like, people doing crazy stuff, gaps in between men.
Yes.
Like,
men never want to get close enough.
No, you have to tell them nuts to butts.
Yes. Balls to backs.
Balls to backs, nuts to butts.
Yes.
Then it gets a kick. Like, they laugh every single time.
And
maybe that's not your personality, right? So, like, what other thing could be, like, more appropriate that your backs
Once you're close, get closer.
The amount of times that we say that on a wedding day.
I say it
close, get
to
closer.
the same people 10 times. Closer. Yeah, it's so annoying. Shimmy.
Little gaps look massive in photos.
They do.
Even if you don't feel it in the moment.
Yeah. Get them so close.
Yeah.
And girls have the opposite problem. They're like on top of each other. I'm like, girls, let's relax.
Especially when the guys are in the photo too, right? Yeah. We want the girls' side to be even. So you're like, spread out. Let your wings fly.
And one good tip for men to make them look just more masculine is to get them all to get really close together. Their feet are all facing towards the groom.
Yeah.
And then you tell them.
In a pencil box.
Yes, they're in a pencil box. So they're all facing towards the groom. And then I tell them to turn their chest out.
Yep.
And that really helps. It looks so good.
So clean.
Yes. And you see all the pocket squares.
Oh, yeah. And they look the same because they literally are all like beep as they swivel on a shoulder.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
It is. And their feet have not moved.
No.
And like if people look weird, like sure, you could do something to be like, okay, everybody should put your weight in your back foot.
That is my biggest thing.
Yeah.
I always am like, especially during groomsmen photos, I'm like, why do you guys look so stiff? Just put some weight in your back leg or like kind of slouch down, relax your shoulders. Like I want them to look comfortable. I want them to look cool. They want to look cool and comfortable. Yeah. So we're going to make that happen.
Yeah. They don't want to look super buttoned up.
No.
You know, not like they're sitting in court.
Right.
Like waiting to be called up to the stand. Like, no.
They're already in a suit. So that's going to make them look formal enough.
Night out, guys. We're going night out. Like
GQ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine that collar popped. Like just, you know.
I love that.
Yeah. I was at a wedding this weekend and the dad had his collar popped.
And Alex?
Yeah. It was like as he was dancing during the reception, I was like, you get that.
I love that.
I know.
It actually makes me so happy. I wish we would have led with that because that would have made me happy for the whole episode.
Instead of like, I'm recording this again.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. You make mistakes to make them once, right?
Yeah. Although we did have to record the first episode twice.
I know. Different reason.
Totally. We're learning.
Yeah. We're learning along the way.
Yeah.
So, okay. Cool. Random little things to look for. Look for buttons. Look for everybody to look as even as possible.
Look
no
for
gaps.
Pocket squares being out of place.
Yeah.
Look for phones in the pockets of the men.
Oh my God. Put your phones in your butts.
Yes.
In there.
I always say get your phones, tablets, keyboards out of your pocket.
It's another hilarious little bit.
Yeah, because phones are big. And then bouquets at your belly buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Bouquets at your chest. You know, a lot of the time that's a problem in the winter when they're like really tense and they're like, oh my God. It's just not flattering. It's much more flattering. You show off the whole top of the dress, which is what most people want to do.
And like your arms are more relaxed when you bring the bouquet down to your belly button.
And I also say like adjust your hair when you need to.
Yeah, give them permission. Like you're allowed to move.
Because having that one long hair in the front and they're so worried about touching it because I'm talking so fast. I click fast too. I'm not just talking fast. I'm shooting.
Through all the clickage.
Yes.
All the clickage.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the clickage.
Okay, let's
So second shooter uses 70 to 200, ideally, or like an 85, something close up.
Yeah.
Sometimes a 35 if you want that, I guess. But
yeah, and then they're focusing on what I'm not compositionally. So horizontal if I'm going vertical. And I kind of tell them to like watch out for that. Or I talk to them beforehand like, hey, I'm going to shoot this vertically. Can you get it horizontal?
Yeah. 70 to 200. If you have that, your second shooter having that, like just anticipate and tell them like just focus on the bride and groom. I just want their reactions or like people watching's reactions. I don't know.
Yeah. Or close up details of like the flowers.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it doesn't
anything
have to be
to add variety.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not need redundancy unless you want redundancy, right? If you're not trusting your, remember in the beginning when like you're not trusting your focus.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to get that.
You get that exact same thing.
Snag that. Like you're going to look at me first and you're going to look at them.
Yeah. Remember? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm sure people listening are in that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you do. So now let's get into the posing flow.
Yeah. This is my favorite part.
I know. This is where you get to hear the real.
But anyways, the 24-70 is my go-to. So I've got that slapped onto my camera. And I also have another camera on my side just in case, but I'm not going to use it because we're doing this fast, guys. We're just using one camera. Keep it simple. I'm not moving much. They are not moving at all. So we got them lined up in altar position. And for those of you listening that do not know what altar position is, it's, oh my gosh, I don't want to sound like it's this, duh. That's so rude. But no, it's getting everybody up exactly how they would be. Maid of honor, like standing up at the ceremony. Maid of honor all the way down. And then best man all the way down. The best man and the men are all on the groom side, and the maid of honor and the girls are always on the bride side to start. I have a reason why I start here every time, because this photo is not my favorite.
I agree.
It's
like, let's spend the least amount of time here, but we'll get it done.
It's so not interesting.
No.
But you need to get it. So start here. I have them all look at me, and I'm wide. I'm ultra wide, probably the widest I can get. And then I have the bride and groom look at each other. And then I have the friends. I just call them friends because it's the easiest, quickest word to say for everybody. I'm like, friends, now you look at the bride and groom, or I'll say the bride and groom's name typically. And then I'll say, okay, now bride and groom, you look at your friends. So now everybody's looking at each other. And they're kind of giggling because they're like, this is kind of silly. This is so weird. And like, it is. And sometimes that's the way you get people to laugh.
Yeah.
Like Ashley brought up this photographer that says Giggleville. Let's go to Giggleville. And that's so precious.
It's so quirky.
It's not what I would ever say because I don't know.
I've used it and everybody busts up laughing.
I would.
It's funnier, I feel like, than like look at each other and laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, let's go to Giggleville. And I feel like everybody must picture getting on Thomas the train and just going to the next town over. Like, that's what I picture we're all getting and going to Giggleville. It's so cheesy.
Yeah.
But it gives somebody something like, sacrifice yourself in a way for this.
Yes.
Like,
you have to be a fool so they can be a little foolish.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have the stage. Like
100%.
It's kind of your show for people that are entertainers. Also for the calm people out there, they're still paying attention to you. So just give them a little bit to roll off of. Mm-hmm. It's fun. You can make it so fun. So we're done with the altar formation.
Yeah. So you just have them stand in order, look at each other.
Look at the bride and groom. The bride and groom looks at them. We all smile at the camera.
Done. Moving on from
we
that
probably just got we just probably got 10 photos there, 10 quality photos that are going to go in the gallery.
Really, and this is why the 24-70 is beautiful during this time. Wide, go so wide, get the trees, get it all.
Yeah,
zoom in, just a little,
focus
get everybody. It's more faces, and then zoom in tighter, right?
Yeah,
and then like get like a small detail.
Yeah.
And then go vertical, go vertical. You can do all that in like 45 seconds.
Totally.
Less than that.
I was going to say.
Like they're not moving and you're just going click, 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 click. Except you might end up like me and have to do a lot of straightening because I do not shoot straight.
I don't know why that is.
I don't either. I just shot that whole wedding on Thursday. And it's just and it looks straight in my eyeballs. So I have no idea why.
We'll figure that out one of these days.
One day we will figure out why
she has a level, like her level is on.
My level is on. And maybe it's because I was using your cameras. And so they don't have the level on.
No.
And so I don't have that visual reminder for like the green to pop up that like I'm level. And I can see levelness in Lightroom.
Yeah.
Right? Like I see it there. For some reason when I'm shooting. I also sometimes don't see that they're not directly in the center. And I'm like, actually, that looked center to you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like maybe my other eye fills in things.
I think so. Yeah.
Anyways.
It's hereditary.
Random.
Yeah. So we're done with altar formation.
Done with altar formation.
Yes. And now we're going to go into alternating formation. And this is where it gets interesting. And this is also where it gets fun. I start my pointing game. This is where I'm like, you go over here, you go over here, you go over here.
You get a car, you get a car, you get a car.
Yes, that's exactly what it's like. And I basically go up to the maid of honor and I start there and I go, you go to the other side, you go to the other side. And I'm skipping a person.
And before you get into this, you look at all of them and you guys go, okay, you guys, we're going to alternate.
Mm-hmm.
If I point to you,
yes,
you're going to switch sides.
Yes. I'm explaining this as I'm walking towards them. Because again, I don't have time to talk back here.
Yes. Talking like you're at the front of a presentation making everybody stare at you. You're like, no. pay attention to the moving target.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. So yes, like I said, or Ashley just said, I do prep people every single time, but I am pointing at the maid of honor first. I skip that next person and I point to the next person. So I'm just skipping a person and pointing. Skip, point, skip, point. Then I go to the other side, start at the best man, get him to go to the other side, skip, point, skip, point. When I point, you go to the other side.
And she literally goes, you go to the other side,
you go to the other side, you go to the other side, you go to the other side. Yeah, legit. And they're like, okay. And literally, you know what I just thought of?
What?
Nobody has time to ask me questions. They're like, oh my God, I better figure this out because I don't want to look like a dummy. And she won't even stop for me. She won't even let me ask. So they figure it out.
Oh.
You don't have those dumb questions.
No.
Because some people do that for attention.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. It's always the guys.
Yeah. They had one too many keystones.
They're like,
where do I go? What do I do? I'll tell you. But that's the thing is also they know that I'm going to tell them every single thing.
Yes.
I'm going to tell them every single thing. I'm going to tell them how to pose their hands. I'm going to tell them everything. Mm-hmm. And that saves me time on the whole, like, let's be funny and ask her questions.
Yeah.
Don't make sense.
Like, get the attention on me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no. We don't have time for that. I'm trying to get you beer.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on your side.
So you get them all into alternating
formation.
Yep.
And from here, I'm back to my position.
Okay.
You're back I'm in formation. They're in formation. Let's go.
Yeah. You make micro adjustments here and you're like, okay, get closer.
Yes.
You're only going to be close for a little bit.
You've got to watch the people on the ends. The people on the ends are never close enough. No matter what.
No, I agree. On the end? That's like the big thing. And then you like wave them in.
Yeah. Boop, boop, and I'm always like, don't worry. It's always the guy on the end. Like I'm always like that. Like, don't worry. It's just you. So then from there, we're all looking at the camera because now we look really good. Okay. You have that contrast of dark suits, dresses. It's great.
So we're talking about all of this. And literally the only movement that we've made so far is alternate.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been in alter formation and alternate.
Yep.
I'm tracking how much the feet are moving. That's
alternate.
It.
Yeah.
There's only been one foot movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're at now like 15 poses right here or 15 shots. So now that we're here, we're going to smile at the camera. And then we sometimes throw in a laugh at each other. Let's look at each other and like, we're having a good time. You know, that kind of thing. Then what's next? 3, 2, 1. Kardashian Christmas card.
I went into that one blind.
Yeah, did you? I saw your eyes. You're like, oh shit, we're counting down. What is it? What is it going to be? No, it's the best one. It's so much fun. Kardashian Christmas card is something that I coined off of watching their Christmas cards. And I was like, everybody asks for that photo where like some people are sitting down and we don't use chairs or anything like that, but it's a formal magazine cover worthy image.
Yeah.
So what that means in their brains.
Well, in a lot of their brains, especially when you do the country folks.
Yeah.
They're like, what is the Kardashian Christmas card? Which totally.
What are you trying to prove?
But I'm just going to be like, the Kardashians. And if one of them goes, no, I go, whatever. Not a single person doesn't like, we don't have to like them.
Yeah. But we don't have to lie.
But you know them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to channel our inner Kardashian. And if you're, maybe you're anti-Kardashian, that's totally fine.
That is.
Channel
totally
your
fine.
inner GQ model. Okay. And so you can give them other references if they don't know, but it's kind of like a funny thing.
Vogue. When
you say Kardashian Christmas card, people are just like, what is that?
Yeah. It's
just funny.
You interpret however you interpret.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's what makes your photos look different from everybody else's. If I say something and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'll do that. Fun. Interesting. So now we're in Kardashian Christmas card and I'm like looking at every person. I'm helping people. Like I'm giving people ideas. I'm like, okay, you can link onto your friend. It's usually a girl and a boy. They're partners in this. Everybody's partnered up.
Everybody's partnered in the Kardashian Christmas card.
Because we're alternating. We're boy, girl. So let's just partner up. Sometimes there's ushers too on the end. And it's like one girl in the middle of the two ushers. So like the ushers pair up with that girl. It's different every time. But me and Ashley or me and another second shooter will also give you guys little references and things that you could try. So it's very Vogue. It's very regal. And then I have them look at me and smile. And then I'm like, okay, now let's get serious. So then they're like,
try to make serious faces. Yeah. And everybody's like, I don't know how to be serious. And I'm like, don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
Don't you dare laugh.
No, don't you do it. And I love watching like the bride and groom get into it because they're like, yeah, they're feeling themselves.
Oh, for sure.
So that's done. We're done. We're done with that. So the next step here is to get the bride and groom forward. so that they're the focus and the wedding party is just in the background kind of hanging out. You still get all those colors in the background and they're still having a good time. So now at this point, I'm telling the wedding party, you guys are decorations, but I don't want you guys to lose focus. Like I want you guys to not chew your gum at this point. I want you guys to talk, look happy back there, and also look hot. Like remember that you got to look hot in these photos. So the bride and groom are up front and they're just being sweet on each other. I kind of give them free range for this little moment. I'm like, okay, guys, be sweet on each other. Maybe I'll put them forehead to forehead. Maybe he kisses her back cheek. Maybe they kiss and I make the wedding party snap back into it and like cheer in the background. Maybe. Sometimes that can be a little cheesy.
But the whole time we want the wedding party to just be looking happy and beautiful in the background.
Yes. Don't lose focus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We're still happy.
I'm tracking.
They're back there. They're smiling.
They're back there. They're smiling. Focus bride and groom only.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you didn't, like some girls would have slouchy shoulders and like.
And they're like, what do we talk about?
Yeah. No. You're still on.
Yeah.
You're still on your
during like, I don't know. I guess football season's kind of like a really big thing around here.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can be like, talk about Patrick Mahomes. Like, talk about Chiefs football. Talk about the game on Sunday. Like,
yeah. We had a soccer group one time and I was like, talk about Mahomes. And they're like, what? It's like, FIFA? I don't know what you guys talk about. I have no idea.
But try to like know them.
Yeah.
In a way to like
know what they would want to talk about.
Yeah.
And that way it's funny.
You give them a topic.
Yeah.
Like, here.
Like
talk
there's
about
hockey players. Sometimes I'm like, talk about
the game.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
If there's a game.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really fun to get personal with people again, like we talked about before. Yeah. So then we're at the bride and groom being forward. Okay.
Okay. They're still in front.
Done.
Okay.
We're done. And then I get the bride and groom to go back to their friends. They're still in alternating, but I don't want them to get like in the line with their friends. I want them to be a little bit in front of their friends.
Okay. Why?
Because we're about to walk. Okay. And I want the bride and groom to be in focus.
Oh yeah. Cause that's the worst thing when you tell them to walk and then like those really funny ones, the funny friends like end up in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they step all over the veil. Which that's another thing we didn't mention yesterday in this podcast episode that we're repeating, that you want to have the bride pick up her train and like throw it around her arm during this part.
Yeah.
Or her
we
veil.
do not want her to get because like even if she doesn't care about her dress getting dirty and it hypothetically it wouldn't get dirty.
Yeah.
Like that kind of sucks. Like being
oh my
like,
gosh. I've seen that 100% of the time. Yeah. And
yeah.
It does happen. Take the veil out for this part, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because you're not really seeing the veil during these.
Or like sometimes like the groom will carry it. You know, like just like use your people.
Yeah,
use
exactly.
People.
So a good tip for this part, because it's a 3-parter.
Okay,
talk about. Oh, yeah.
Don't forget your good tip.
The throwing the dress over the arm?
No, I don't know.
That was it.
Okay, cool. So let's just backtrack so that we're memorizing, right?
Okay.
So we start altar formation.
Okay.
Look at each other, smile, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Just a couple things.
Yeah.
No big deal. Whatever. Get it done. Then you alternate. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car.
Yep.
And everybody alternates. And then you do like a formal photo there and then like look at each other and laugh there.
Yeah.
And then basically move into Kardashian Christmas card, which what that achieves is you've got a really formal photo in the beginning, a less formal photo with people alternating, but still formal.
Yeah.
And then the Kardashian Christmas card kind of gives it some attitude.
Yes.
It gives like a little bit of attitude, a little bit of personality, a little bit of fun. And then
you move forward. The bride and groom.
The bride and groom come forward, and that just gives the bride and groom the spotlight for a second. Again, a lot of variety in a couple minutes.
Yes.
Right? We're like 2 minutes in at this point. Maybe 3. Probably 3.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because this last part
is so fast.
So we might be, you're like almost done, right?
Yes.
You're telling everybody this is the last step.
Yes.
So you go from normal, alternate, Kardashian, forward, into, hey guys, we're going to do a 3-parter.
Yep. And this is it.
Okay.
There might be an encore at the end, but typically we're going to be done after this.
Okay.
Is what I tell them. So they're hooked.
Yep.
They're ready to go.
Like, guys, last thing.
I also just want to circle back really quick and say that, you're always correcting people during this. You also need to throw in some approvals.
Oh,
like confirm that they're doing a good job. So like during the Kardashian Christmas card photo section, I am like approving everybody. I'm like, yes. Oh my, I've never seen that. Or
you look amazing.
That is it. Like that should be a profile pic of yours. Like, just being nice, and you don't have to be so funny if you're not a funny person, but like let them know they're doing a good job.
Like, you look amazing. That is so good.
Yeah. Hype them up, guys. Hype them up.
That's a really good point.
Now we're going to go back and we're going to talk about this 3-part quiz that I'm about to give you. I always quiz my wedding party. at the end of this one because
every time.
It's really tricky. And the coolest thing about this is that videographers get a seamless film of the wedding party going from one thing to the other without me like.
There's no interruption. It's all very natural.
Yes.
Like it looks very natural filmed, which also if you're working with videographers and you do this like 5-minute system, tell them like, hey, heads up. I'm going to move really quickly through this, but there is going to be movement and walking and all of that and celebrating towards the end. If you need to do anything extra, like totally feel free to do that as soon as we're done.
Yes.
But this will be so fast and full of energy. We don't like,
no
I would love
interruptions.
to not break it up. So if you need to pull them or get a different shot, like just wait till the end and then have fun.
Dude, I don't know what I would do if a videographer was like, oh, hold on. I'd be like, no, we're not stopping. Like there would be a moment of like devil come out of me.
A lot of times when I feel like this happens and you do like the 3-parter.
Yeah.
What's really appropriate, and I don't mind at all, is like when we go through it and the videographer says, okay, we're going to do that one more time. Yeah. And they kind of want that center shot.
Yeah.
But everybody's done it already. So
they know how to do it.
They know how to do it. Super easy. And they're like, okay, guys, we're going to run through it one more time for video. And the whole wedding party is like on board. Okay, maybe I'll look better this time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's such a good point. So here it is.
3-parter quiz.
Yeah.
You say to them, hey guys, I'm going to quiz you on this, so listen up.
Yep. First thing we're going to do is walk. You're going to walk towards me, and you're going to look as happy as heck. The first 5 steps you take are going to be the best shot. So I want you guys to remember where you are, focus. Literally, because some people zone out.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to remind those zoners.
Like know where you are. We are here.
Yeah, we are here.
Know what you're doing.
Yes.
You're walking. Like,
yes.
You're walking and looking at your friends.
Yep. Walk. That's first. Then second, we're going to party. We are going to get litty titty. Yep. And we're going to have so much fun. We're going to be like, and I demonstrate for them. I look like a fool so they can look foolish.
Yeah. You shimmy. You like throw those arms up in the air. And that's key. Like,
yes.
Throw the arm up in the air so that they know that they can like move their body and move the energy. Like, what does party mean? Like, and sometimes I don't cause them to like stop. So also consider during the party part, do you want them to stand in like a line-ish, right? Like in party, or do you want them to continue to walk? Like it depends on how much
party walk
room you have.
Yeah, true.
Like, are we gonna walk? Are we gonna party walk? Are we gonna,
Yeah, party. So I'm like, I want to see the ripping and the tearing. I want to like, I want to, you guys get crazy. And if it's not crazy enough, if it's not litty titty enough, we're gonna do it again. And I'm like, you got 5 seconds to party. And I'm like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And like, oh my gosh, the amount of times that I've actually lost my voice during this because it is so fun.
It is so fun.
I'm like screaming at them at this point. So we are having a good time. We're partying. And then third thing is photo booth. So I sometimes say huddle.
So we're not even posing it.
No.
You're explaining.
No.
You're explaining.
I'm literally
the plan.
still quizzing. I'm getting them prepped for their quiz.
Okay.
Prepping. I'm teaching. And so then I'm like, okay, you guys, we're going to go into photo booth. That just means I want you guys to you're in a tiny photo booth. I want you guys to get as close as you possibly can, scrunch all together, huddle up together, and then look at the camera. And I'm like, guys, I'm going to walk you through all this. Don't worry. But now let's go through the quiz. What's first?
Oh, I'm the quizzer.
You're the wedding.
I'm the quizzy.
Yeah, quizzy.
Walk.
Yes. What's second?
Party.
And then that one groomsman that says,
litty titty.
Yeah, always. Third.
Photo booth.
Yes. And I'm like, you got this, guys. We're hyping them up again. That's perfect. So we're walking. I'm like, let's walk.
They do pay attention really well if you think about it.
No joke.
Because you literally do quiz them and they literally all scream it all at the same time. What are we doing first?
Walk.
What are we doing second? Party.
I wonder if they think like, no, she's shitting. Like she's bullshitting. She's not going to quiz us.
She does.
She always does.
Okay. So now we're photo boothing.
Yep. We're photo boothing. Okay. So now I'm going to walk them through this. So I'm like, okay, guys, walk. Yeah. Woo. Party.
Hands up in the air.
Yeah.
Shimmy, shimmy, twerk, twerk.
Now, photo booth.
And she's screaming.
Yeah. And I'm like, I want the guys to get on the shoulders of the other guys. I want the girls to get down below. And I want
hands up.
Yeah. And I want you guys to have a good time. So I kind of tell them that before. But now we're at photo booth. We're here. We're there. And I'm like, guys, yeah, bride and groom, kiss. Everybody celebrate. Hands up. The key is to tell them to put their hands up. The key is to put their hands up. Because we were talking yesterday about how people, if they don't, they're like,
yeah.
That's
or
not
they all
it's
just
weird.
like, instead of like getting into a tiny photo booth, they just like squish the line.
Yeah.
Like, no. We need people on
bottom, top,
yeah.
dimensions.
Like, literally imagine that you're in the smallest photo booth ever and you're all trying to fit inside.
Yeah.
You're going to layer.
Yeah. So, we're visual learners. So we're down in this and we're like, bride and groom kiss. Everybody celebrate. Yeah. Now everybody kiss. Literal eruption of laughter. So I always am like, everybody kiss. And literally it's the funniest thing ever. Everybody's laughing and everybody is kissing too. Like I've got the groomsmen in the back. They're kissing each other and they're like this. Girls are kissing.
This is where they forget where they are.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're listening to this girl. I've hypnotized them. Yeah. It's hard. It's so fun. It is so fun.
And like they like turn to do it and then they realize like,
wait,
where am I?
Yeah.
And then everybody
is laughing.
Busts up laughing and they're like all laughing, looking at each other and looking at the camera.
Yes.
They're like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
And then immediately Ashley's like, just kidding.
Yeah. No, usually it's like, everybody kiss. Just kidding. Like so quickly after. Cause like it does cause some fun, but it's also like chaotic, really chaotic. I just love like the reactions. Cause some girls like go for kissing other girls and they're like, the other girl's like, or like, or sometimes I'll get that one girl that like literally looks at me like at the camera like this, just mortified. Like we had to put some of these somewhere. Like we should, do a blog of the collection of these.
My God.
The funniest ones because they are so good.
And they're also really genuine. So
they
like
are.
My favorite part of this whole flow from beginning to end, but specifically the 3-parter, is that it shows so much personality in such a short period of time and in such a simple way to deliver it.
Yeah.
I say simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're going to do though is practice this in the mirror.
Yes.
Like pretend.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not in the mirror. Maybe you're just like standing in a room and like staring, like pretending you're looking at people because you want this to roll off the tongue so easily and so quickly and like imagine it happening. So that way when it happens in real life, you kind of, it is a show.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's something that I'm not kidding. Like no matter where we go in the country, no matter what it is we're doing, it's always videographers, but they're like, that was the funnest thing. How did you do that? We're like, I've never seen people be able to keep it so fun. Like, and
fluid.
The wedding party is all having a good time and it is just seamless. And so it is a performance, but it's part of the performance that makes it a good time. And really at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Like, are they having a good time?
Yes. And also the fact that you can photograph them and make them look like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Like that is just it. Like what I have bride and grooms tell me a lot. They're like, you just made everybody look comfortable, which is actually not as easy as it sounds. Like you actually have to step up for that, or you're just going to get your boring wedding party photos where there's no personality. There's no essence. There's no light in those photos.
They're just standing there smiling.
Yeah, they look stunning, like there's a place for stunning, gorgeous. Everybody looks great. But there's also something about like somebody's open mouth smile, Yeah.
Well, there's heart there. Yeah. I feel like it's the very beginning where you get the perfection and also get those stunning photos in bridesmaids and groomsmen photos. Like in this whole wedding party, that whole group's getting together to have a good time. That's why.
Yeah. Get you a photographer that can do both.
Yeah. So be that photographer that can do both.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
That is it.
Like literally then it's done. Unless
I heard it.
I know. I can't burp. So like sometimes it just happens, but I just can't do it. So what was I saying? Oh, sometimes you have a little encore.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So if I think a wedding party is, they're ready for the next thing, they can handle another pose or they seem like they want to just keep going. Encore. Just give them an encore. And that typically is like a trendy photo that's happening on the internet. So something that I saw on TikTok or something that's totally out of my normal. So that's also for, I feel like I don't want to say that younger brides typically want this, but it is like in your 20 to 24 age range that you might want to consider it 100% of the time.
Like something trendy at the end.
Yeah. So that can be like a tunnel or the whole wedding party circling around the bride and groom and like doing a seance. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something fun.
And you can also, when you do something that you've never tried before and maybe you have a random idea that you wanted to seance.
Just clicked?
Yeah, just clicked. But in that scenario, you can literally look at them like they're on your team again. Mm-hmm. It's like when you're done and they're all having a good time, you can like have this deer in headlights look come over your face and be like, oh, guys, I just had an idea.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, and they're like, okay. And I'm like, would you guys? And they're like, yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
And you're like, I've never done it before. So you guys are going to be my guinea pig. People love to be a guinea pig.
Yeah. Like that slowing down the shutter speed where the wedding party runs around all crazy.
Yeah.
That one's fun. We used to do that one in like 2015 and 16.
Yeah. It was really fun. And it was just like, I have this idea and I don't know if it's going to work.
Right. And you read the room. You can figure out really quickly if the wedding party is up for something.
Yeah.
You know, that is one thing we're going to talk about a lot in this podcast is like, you got to be aware of how other people are feeling.
Yeah. Because that's the one thing that they're going to take away is the way that you make them feel.
Yeah, we're going to say that a bunch.
I just
the way you make them feel.
Yeah, it matters so much more than you think. Like that is my number one piece of advice of all time.
Yep.
Remember the way that you make people feel because that is going to be the most important thing ever.
The most important thing is knowing that is the most important thing.
It's an Aspen because the way that it is.
Yep. So that tied a bow on it pretty nice.
That did tie a bow on it pretty nice. I think we did quicker than yesterday, which is really good because it was really long time.
Yeah, it was. It was funny, but
it was hilarious.
Now we just cut right to the chase.
We did.
You're welcome.
We did. So that ties it up for this week. And we will see you in
the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.